lot of times at this time of year we use, well, it's early, but nonetheless, what did you pull out of that road trip that was something that maybe is sustainable moving forward?
Winning.
Yeah.
The
way you won?
Are you going to answer my questions again, Dave, here, or are you going to ask them? We thought our last game against Winnipeg was, as I said to you after, was probably our most complete game. But I don't know what you want me to say. We get ready for another game. Just keep on trying to play the best we can. Well,
again, is it the way that you won early? Can that be sustainable, or is it fall under the category of it's real early in the season, can't tell?
We're just going to get ready to play another game.
What's working with the 9, 10, 13 when I feel like it's starting to come around to your liking?
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. I think it can be better. I think they've played in spurts. They're very dangerous when they're on, but I still think they need to be more consistent.
John, we've asked you so many questions about the offensive side of the ice. How are you feeling about the defensive side of the ice, how they're protecting the blue line and their play overall?
Well, let's go to the defensive side. Let's start with Korpisalo. I thought that was the biggest plus for me anyway, to see him come back and play a good game, as I talked about after the game. Probably one of our most effective games as far as being on the right side of the puck, being above the puck with our reloads and causing a lot of problems for the opposing team in the neutral zone, which gets our transition going. So those are probably two of the biggest points that were the two positives. In a game that had quite a few positives, those are the two biggest points that I thought we were really good at.
Try again.
Don't, Dave.
Your power play be better right now, or one of those things that it just has to progress?
Power play had, I think, in the short time we had it against Winnipeg, we had 6 scoring chances. A couple of posts. Mason made a couple of great saves. Certainly is not where we want it to be. Hopefully they get rewarded when they do have some good time on it. Yeah, so we're just going to keep on working at it. We've spent a lot of time in preseason working on it because, quite honestly, I thought this league was heading down a road of it was going to be a special teams battle through the first 15, 20 games. So we started early with it. Some really good things going on with it, but we just haven't been consistent enough. First of all, especially shooting the puck. So we spent a lot of time trying to simplify it, and hopefully we'll get rewarded. Don't, Dave?
No, not at all.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of positives, how gratifying is it to have the scoring balance that you've had, and especially that you got on the road?
Yeah, that's what I liked about the last game was I thought everybody contributed in all areas. I thought Bjorkstrand probably played his best game. I thought Luke probably played his best game. Our fourth line, if you want to call it that, was instrumental in scoring a goal, a bad angle shot. Yeah, so I don't think we're firing on all cylinders. I don't think everybody's playing. I don't think that's going to happen throughout the year. I think players come and go. So if you get some other people picking some things up when guys aren't going, that's how you end up winning hockey games. So, to go back to your first question, I guess what you were trying to get at, we've won a lot of different ways. I think that's important early in the year.
Following up on Luke, how would you kind of assess his entire body of work these first 6 games compared to what you expected coming in?
Not even going to try to assess. It's way too early. Way too early. For a young kid like that, we're just going to let him play, and assessments will come down the road. It's just not enough games played.
Where have you seen him make growth since you saw him last year in training camp, and where do you still want to see him make some improvements?
He was overwhelmed last year in camp. He's a different person from last year's camp to this year's camp and to where he is now. I don't think he was ready for the volume of skating of last year's camp, combined with so many early preseason games with our schedule. It certainly wasn't fair to him to allow him to show what he had. I think he was more prepared this year for the camp, understood it better, always as a second year. Our schedule was different with our preseason games, so it's allowed him to let his game go. The biggest improvement he showed me the other night against Winnipeg was that he was in the areas. He wasn't on the outside. He protected pucks. He went to the net. And he got knocked on his ass 3 separate times on a power play, but he kept on going back into the blue trying to look for the puck. That's what he has to do. He's a gifted player, but he has a big body, and his willingness is there. I think that's where he was really good the other night.
John over here. Stamkos had mentioned his chemistry with Kucherov is similar as it had with Marty St. Louis back in the day. What are the challenges of stopping Kucherov, especially when those two guys are both together on the same line?
Well, they're pretty good players. I don't think you ever stop players like that. I think it's trying to contain them. I don't think one guy can contain them. It has to be done as a unit. And I think the biggest point is being aware when they're on the ice, not to give them, make them play the full 200 feet, not let them play 90 feet with turnovers and in situations like that, because that's where they really hurt you. So. Good offensive players. I don't think two great players in our league, I don't think you ever stop them. You need to try to contain them. And the best way is to try to make them play defense and have the puck yourself.
John,
You've asked enough, Brian.
John, there's been a fair amount of scoring so far early in the season. Aside from power plays, there have been some pretty good power plays going on. You see any trends or anything that you could put your finger on of why there's more goals going in?
I think at the beginning of years, I think it's coaches will screw it up. We'll work on our defense. We'll try to limit the scoring areas. I think the goaltending will be better. I think the scoring comes ahead of all of that. But I think as the season goes on, teams look at teams' tendencies, learn more about the teams and themselves as far as their structure. I hope it doesn't turn to that. But as coaches, we have to do our job. The biggest part of our job is to teach our team to play away from the puck. And as it goes on, you get a little bit more practice time. I think teams are going to be better defensively.
John, I was just wondering if you could maybe give us an update on Boone Jenner and Jordan
No update.
Schrader.
No update.
No, nothing yet?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Same
I haven't
with
even talked to the trainers today.
And same with Schrader as well?
Yeah. He's down playing.
Right.
Yeah.
And quick question, any lineup changes for tonight from Tuesday?
No, Bob will start. That's the only change. We good? You don't have one, Dave? You done?
See you tonight.
Okay, fine.